Bouncing into 2009. So I've been with the Colorado Rockies since 1993, their expansion year. We're starting a new year in 2009. Um, let's check out what we've done lately, which has been pretty good. Still going for that second World Series. We won it in 2006. Last year, man, I thought that was going to be our year. We had a team record of 108 wins, which was also like tied for, I want to say, fourth or something overall in NL history, National League history, in wins. But we didn't make it. We lost in the NLCS. But we've got a stacked team. Bunch of guys that were Rockies around this time in real life because I do have the option checked in this game, which I really like for the historical leagues, which is put the original rookies with their original organizations. So I don't have an amateur draft, a rookie draft, but these guys come up with their teams. So like Troy Tulowitzki, obviously Helton, he's been around with me for a while. He's 35. Signed him for a big time deal back in the day. We signed Pujols with a bunch of money that we've gained from having big fan interest. Same with we traded for Pedro Santana this last offseason. Ian Stewart came up with us. Signed, I believe, Carl Everett. Did we sign him? Yeah, we signed him 4 years ago. And then Dexter Fowler and Iannetta came up with us. So it's a good mix of trades and free agency as well as original players with their teams. So we've kept the guys that that came up that have been good. Now there's also the element of like random player development. So guys aren't necessarily going to just be as good as they were in real life. You can check that option in this game if you want, which is pretty cool. I haven't done that much. It's the recalc option. I've done it a little bit, but when you have like free agency and you're the one controlling a team, I think it's kind of cheating if you check that because you know if a guy is going to be good or not, or if he's kind of done. Now, I guess you can kind of get around that by doing like a 5 year recalc. So it takes the average of 5 years of their career. But even then, if you're drafting guys, okay, that guy's going to pan out, that guy's not. So I just leave it on like the random development engine. Um, you can tweak with the randomness, so I don't have it way crazy random, but I have it like average, meaning if a guy is imported as pretty good, like right away, it's he's not gonna. There's not a huge chance that he's gonna like get terrible if he's imported as pretty good, or vice versa. But you do see it now and then. So it's kind of like, yeah, I don't know, it's more realistic. Like, hey, if a guy comes in and right now he's pretty decent, then you think you're banking on him being pretty decent. And he'll develop maybe differently depending on how he pans out. So anyway, that's the rundown, the quick rundown. But let's check where we are as the Rockies. I had it initially here on salaries because we are in 2009 and we have a lot of veterans here that are pretty good on our team that are like finishing their last year. Everett, he's starting in center. He's 37 though, so I don't know if we'll try to re-sign him. Nye has been a solid pitcher for me the last couple years. Do we trade for him? Yeah, we traded with Texas. Bannister, a former Cy Young winner in this game. In real life, he was up not for a whole long time, but he was like, a 5 year or so guy, played with the Mets for a year, and then started a bunch of games for the Royals. Like he was a regular starter for 4 years. But he had a quick career. He had a couple decent years and then a couple not so decent years. So in this game, he's panned out to be pretty solid. He won the Cy Young Award in 2005, and he's a two-time All-Star, 05, 06. So we got him in what, 07? No, so 07 he didn't quite have as good of a year, but he still had a pretty good year. We got him in 08, and that's pretty decent in 08 with the Rockies having a 4.29 ERA. And so that was last year. He pitched well for us, and now he's one of our better pitchers this year. He is on. Let's go back to the age. Okay, I was on sorry, I was on Nye. Where did Bannister go? I forgot how he popped up. I guess I was just on the default one. But Nye is going to be a free agent. Helton's going to be a free agent. He wants quite a bit of money. He is 35, so I think he's probably worth it. I'm sorting on age right here. Joe Weaver has been a good pitcher for me. He was solid last year. He was mostly a bullpen guy. They did move him into the starting rotation. My manager did. So he has 80. He had 82 innings last year, but most of it was as a reliever, and he had a 2.19 ERA. So the ERA plus adjusted for the park in the league is 194. So pretty solid season there by Joe Weaver. That was an outlying year. I mean, he's had a couple other good years, but 194 is ridiculous. His WAR was not as good though as some of the other years. Just I guess because he was mostly a reliever. I mean, he had a lot of innings pitched though, but yeah, he didn't accumulate that kind of WAR. So as he did as a starter. So anyway, he'll be a free agent. He's what is he, 32 or something at reset, but 31. So we have a lot of veterans. That's going to be good for this year. And then front office wise, 33 mil for extensions. And we go to upcoming free agents. You know, we could extend. Well, that's all batters. Let's go to all players. We could extend all these guys for that amount. Helton for 17, and then you got another 10, so that's 27, and then 31. I mean, barely, but we could. But I don't think we're going to try to get like Everett back. We got some good young outfielders. Weaver, we'll see. Nye, we'll see. Helton, probably. I just don't know how long. Like right now, he wants 4 years. I'm kind of thinking 3. And I was going to see, like, does he still have it? I mean, according to my scout, he sure does. But you give him that deal now, his personality, he doesn't always give 100%. Now, obviously, the personalities aren't the same as in real life. I mean, maybe coincidentally they could be with some guys, but that wasn't Helton. But in this game, does that mean he's kind of like not motivated and I give him an extension and he's not as good this year? That could. So I'd like to kind of wait on him, even if his demand goes up because he has a great year. I'll pay him if he's worth it. We got the money. I'll pay him. You know, even if it means not getting like all these guys, that's fine. So that's where we're at. We just won our first game against the Diamondbacks. They're supposed to be decent this year. Preseason projections. Let's go to that. Where are we at here? Preseason predictions. So we'll go to the NL West. We were projected to have 94 wins, win the division. Diamondbacks, okay, they went down a little bit from the last time I looked at this. The one before spring training or right around spring training. Boston still projected to be number 1. That was the same when I looked at it last. Same with Kansas City in the AL Central, and same with the Mariners in the West. Some of the players, yeah, Donnie Murphy, he's been a stud in this game. He's supposed to be one of the top hitters. Pellegrini with Seattle, Zimmerman with Cleveland, Pickering with Texas. Over here, top pitchers, Nate Bumstead coming off of a Cy Young year. Yep, that's right. 2008 Cy Young Award winner. Nate Bumstead with Detroit. Zach Greinke, always good with Kansas City. Looks like he got rocked though in his one outing so far this year, 8.44 ERA in 5 innings. Ryan Hanneman, Detroit's got 2 solid pitchers. Where were they projected to finish? Wow, so 10 games under 500. So that's kind of their main thing. They got that pitching. Let's keep looking here. So then we got New York Mets projected to be at the top of the NL East, Astros in the Central, and then us, the Rockies, in the West. Diamondbacks now below 500 projected. They were a little better than that last time. So Cole Hamels, he's a stud in this game. He just won the Cy Young Award last year. He's projected to be one of the top pitchers. There's Pryor. See if he can have a long, solid career in this game. He did win the Cy Young Award back in 2002, and he was an All-Star in 2002 and 2003. Since then, he's been okay. I mean, he last '07 he was real good, 134 ERA plus. Did lead the league in giving up home runs, but also led the league in strikeouts and Ks per nine. He's done that several of the years. And yeah, he's had what in '08. Oh, I said last year. That was '07 that he had a great year. Last year, '08, very average year. So he's on 11.9 mil for 3 more years. That's probably fair for what he's been producing. There's Kershaw. He was the #1 prospect in the game last year, and now I don't know if he's still considered that. Now #2, but he is up on the Dodgers pitching for them. So very likely he's going to pan out. He looks good. Um, so that's where we're at. Jeff Francis, I traded him a long time back to the Brewers. Um, he obviously came up with the Rockies just like in real life. He's had a couple decent years. He's kind of hit his stride the last few years. Good ERA, a sub 4. His first couple years, not great, but that happens all the time with pitchers, especially in real life. So, all right. Over here, let's just glance hitters. Zane Green, he's been a stud in this game. He's on the Cubs, been on the Cubs for a while. Ryan Braun, Pedro Santana, who I acquired in the offseason with the trade. Pujols and Ian Stewart. I don't see Helton up here surprisingly. So again, we'll see how he pans out. Chipper Jones still going strong at 36 in this game, and Lance Berkman only 33. Berkman, he came up young in this game. I think in real life he came up young too. He's 22 back in '98. He was like the #1 prospect for several years in this game, and then came up. Been with Houston his whole career. Look at all these accolades, just like an all-star every year. Won a couple MVPs, 2003, 2004. Rookie of the Year in '98. Just yeah, silver sluggers galore. He's a no doubt Hall of Famer in this game. Look at his OPS plus, just ridiculous every year. 192 in his MVP season in 2003 with a league leading 9.1 WAR. He slugged 663, 53 jacks and 128 ribs, led the league. I mean, he's OPS'd 1,000 more than he hasn't. So he's as close maybe in this game to the real life Bonds statistically as possible. And he's only 33. A-Rod might be close in this game. Let's glance at him. He's got to be projected. Well, he's not. Wow. Okay, there's J-Rod with the Yankees. A-Rod is with the Yankees. I think I can just click on him here. Here he is. He's 33 as well. I guess he's maybe gone down a little bit compared to what he has been before, but still ridiculous defense and speed. But here's his OPS. Yeah, not nearly as dominant as Berkman. He's had 1, 2, 3 years over 1,000. Several though in the high 90s. And led the. I mean, his WAR is off the charts. That might be the equivalent to the real life Bonds. Just double-digit WAR more times than not during his like full season years, maybe maybe not, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then if you round these 9.5s up to 10, that's 6, 7. So anyway, he's ridiculous. Look at all his accolades. He won. He has the most MVPs in this game. What, 97, 98, 99, 2000. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row. 2001, 5 in a row. 2002, 6 in a row. And then finally didn't get it until 2008 again. But 6 in a row. Chipper also did something similar a while back. So anyway, that's enough of all that. Let's. I like to glance at the box scores after each game, see what my manager is doing with the lineup and such, see how the players are doing. See how my pitching especially is doing. Bannister going 8 innings. You love to see that. They left him in. No walks. 3 earned runs. So here we go. Game 2. We're going to sim this one out. See if we can win the series. It's a 3-game series. And we get shut out 6-0. So who do they have going? Mark Romanzuk. Roman Zuck, he was not a real life MLB player, but in this game he is there. He's in their starting rotation, so he shut us down. Wow, we only had one hit, Carl Everett, and one walk, so he was close to a no hitter and a perfect game. Cook didn't pitch great. 5 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs. Let's just move on from that one. Going for the rubber match. See if we can get the win. And 10-2, bouncing back with some good offensive splurging here. Santana 4-for-5 game. Tulo still kind of struggling, but he did have 2 walks. Helton 2-for-5. He's got 3 jacks already. Ian Stewart a 2 for game. Poole's only hitting 182. It's only the first series, not concerned. But that's interesting. We haven't been playing James a whole lot. He's good for us. He's an outfielder. He's got good power. He just had 40 jacks last year. He's been a regular starter. He expects to be in a starting lineup. He's a clubhouse leader. So I kind of like him over Fowler. Fowler's only hitting 160, but my manager has started Fowler this whole series. I believe he's starting this whole series. What has James had? Just 2 at bats. So I think he's just come in to pinch hit a couple times. Nye pitching great, trying to earn that extension. 1 earned run and 7 2/3, no walks. And then the pen, which was solid last year, holding pat here for an inning and third. Okay, now we got Philadelphia. So I like to scour the news, see what's going on. Looks like we got a couple waiver claims. LA extending Coco Crisp, 29 years old. He's had an okay career. He's really good defensively. Here's a trade we made. This stuff was all. Then you had a lot of waivers and stuff going on. Like this was opening day, I believe. So I like to check the news here as well to see what my scout has to say about the upcoming opponent. So Phillies, Cole Hamels, they do have Derek Jeter. They've had him for a few years. Signed him in the offseason. He was a big free agent. Phillips, Durham, JD Drew, who's been good in this game. He's 33 years old. We got Crockett against Dobble. They have Felix Hernandez, who's only 23. Good stuff potential, not great control. This his career. He had 1 good year with the Mariners. That's it. So came up at 18. In real life, I think he came up real young, didn't he? Yeah, 19. So in this game, came up at 18 and had a good year when he was 20. He did lead the league in walks 2 years in a row. This last year, 2008, he led the league in Ks per 9, but his ERA was right around average. That was with Detroit after Seattle. So then looks like they maybe released him or something. He was a minor league free agent signing. So they just kind of weren't sticking with him. Which is, you look at his numbers, and that's fair. He just wasn't really getting it done. I mean, you like the Ks per 9, but he was like, he's been below average every year except one since he was up in the bigs at 18 years old. So he's had 5 full seasons below average every year except one of them. So just you look at the name and you're like, oh, you got to take a chance on that guy. But the game doesn't bias via names. And then we got Bannister against Cole Hamels. That'll be a good matchup. All right, here we go. Let's sim it out. We'll sim this series. I'm planning on getting through kind of the first several games of the season here, and then we'll do another video later. So we lose game 1. Tulo getting 2 hits. They're still going to Fowler. James is coming in to pinch hit at least a lot, so that's good. I mean, he should be our main pinch hitter. Crockett pitched great. Wow, and Gower got rocked. 5 runs, but only 1 was earned. 2 hits, so I shouldn't say rocked. Looks like we just didn't have the defense behind him. He did have 2 walks, though, that inning, so he didn't pitch great. But he blew the save. He's usually solid. Looks like we have some DFA guys that we need to take care of. So Graham, who I traded for, I like him going to AA. We got a spot open there as well. And then these two guys going to AAA, but we're already over by 2 guys. They're saying Riordan can go down, but he did really well in AA last year, so I like continuing to move him up. Kind of just was hoping guys would be on the DL or something, like getting hurt, and then I could move them. So I guess I'll just put these guys on here and we'll be over. I don't think, I mean, there's no penalty. I just try to stay. Weeks, it's my scout saying send him down. He's 33. I mean, I guess we can send him to AA. I was thinking about just releasing him, but I like his ratings. My scout thinks he's still, could play in the bigs probably. But let's send him down to AA. I'm sure it's going to make him unhappy. It does, but we'll keep him in the organization. So I'm 3 over there, 1 over here. These leagues haven't started. The rookie leagues, I'm 2 over. But as guys get hurt, then that should free up spots. So, okay. Here we go. Game 2 against the Phillies. Can we avoid the series loss? We can for now. We're tied. We win 6-5. Coming back, getting a run. Did we walk it off in the 9th? We did. So Carlos Santana, great game. But Helton with the walk-off hero. Game tied, dramatic run scoring single. Does it say who scored? Doesn't, but that's fine. The guy that gets the hits, the bigger hero. Only hit of the game there for Helton. He's got 3 jacks already though this year. Pujols still off to a slow start. Still not starting James. We're going Santana and left. He did get a pinch hit. He's got a homer already and 3 ribs. Fowler, another 0 for game. Grube, not a great start, but Penn did pretty dang well. 1 earned run, Joe Weaver in 2/3 of an inning. So here we go, final game of the series against Philadelphia. Who weren't they? They were projected to be decent. I think the Mets were projected to win it. Okay, Bernie got it. He was a minor league guy. I offered a minor league extension to. Let's browse the other news here. And it looks like we won 14-0. So we'll go to that in a minute. Just browsing, see if anything pops up. Verlander pitching really well for Detroit. He's only 26. He hasn't really had that breakout year, I don't think, yet. No, he's had 2 seasons. One a little above average, one right about average. So no other big news here. Here's the player of the week. Carlos Quentin, now on the Twins. And Zane Green, solid, like I said, on the Cubs. Who leads the MLB in doubles? Yanni Peralta, Betancourt, Centrone. Let's look at the power rankings. Braves, I mean, it's only after 6 games or whatever. Where are we? We're 6th. Braves looking real good. They're 5-1. Indians 5-1. Twins 5-2. Mets 4-2. So 14-0 win. Wasn't that off Hamels? We'll have to check. But Helton 2 for 2 day. Bannister pitching great. 7 innings, no runs, 2 walks, 5 Ks. That's great to see. Santana 4 for 5 game. He's hitting 423. Tulo with a big game. Helton coming on now. He had a walk and 2 hits, so 3 for 3 on base. Pujols multi-hit game. There we go. Yeah, we started Fowler again. We're going with Everett and Fowler. I'd like to see them rotate James in a little more, but that's up to my manager unless I override him. So now we got the Cubs. Interesting that we play them, then we have a day off, and then we play them again. So don't know how that happened, but let's see how they are looking. Zane Green, obviously, Mark Pryor, Steve Cishek, good relief pitcher for him. Cesar Tapia, and Jim Report. Haven't heard of this guy. He has not made the bigs in real life, but good defender in this game. Cook against Pryor, Nye against Davis is the projected matchup. Let's see if Cook can bounce back. Had a bad first start of the year. See if we can get our 5th win. Cook against Pryor, we lose 2-4. Pryor is tough to get a lot of runs off of. We are playing on the road. Helton with a couple hits again. That was really all that we had. So Pryor pitching really well, giving up 3 hits and 2 walks and 8 2/3. Cook not pitching bad, 7 hits and 3 walks, but got through 6 innings, gave up 3. I mean, I'll take that with my offense if our pitchers can do that. So going for the split here now after a day off. Looks like we got a lot of releases going on. We got a waiver claim. Some more waiver claim. I do like checking that out now and then, although I really don't have a lot of room to take guys. There's Matt Cain. Wow, yeah, he's a good young pitcher in this game. He was a highly ranked prospect for a while. Yeah, that's really surprising. They waived him last year. He had a 1.12 ERA, ERA plus. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. The game just, I don't know, doesn't. Sometimes they do these weird things. Not so Cincinnati claimed him, so at least the team's claiming him. Well, you know what? I think I have priority over them since I'm in the NL West. So heck yeah, I'm gonna claim this guy. You kidding me? Is he out of options? Is that what happened? He's out of options, so I guess they just didn't think they had room. But I'll put him on the big league roster. I mean, I do have a competitive staff, very much so. In fact, Casimir is coming back off the IL. But I might send Groob down. He had a good year last year in AAA, and then he came up and he did really well for 10 innings. He had under a 1 WHIP, but in 2007 when he was up, he wasn't great. He hasn't been great since he was up until the little slice of the bigs last year with 10 innings, and because he did well in AAA. He was a top 100 prospect at one point, but not great movement. I mean, I might send him down. He didn't pitch great in his start. Let's keep rolling here. Let's see if we can split with the Cubs. Ooh, and they sweep us in a 2 game. Another close one, 4-2. They're 6-2 this year. Santana continues to produce at the top of the lineup. James only hitting 167, but he's not getting at bats. They're sticking with Fowler. He did have a 3-for-4 day. My manager does seem to like Fowler. He gives him a lot of chances. Nye not doing great. 5 innings, 3 earned runs. Bullpen did fine after that. It's finished today. Soon I should know if we get Kane. Yeah, maybe San Francisco pulled him back. That can happen too. Here it is, claimed on waivers, San Francisco. Okay, so they did. Oh, no, it was San Diego. San Diego, SD. Wow, so they had priority over me, I guess, because of the record where they're at. But yeah, good for them getting Matt Cain off of waivers. That's pretty good. Interesting release by San Fran. I wonder what are they thinking here? What's their rotation look like? Lincecum, Hennessy, who's good, Aguilar, who's good, maybe better than Kane. Ramon Garcia, they're going to stick with him. He's young. Eric Bedard, who's 30. But, I don't know. You could send one of these relief pitchers down. They're all pretty close in terms of ratings, according to my scout. Maybe not CJ Wilson, but he's a lefty. Maybe they wanted to keep him because of that. Yeah, interesting. All right, now we're facing the Dodgers at LA. Let's check them out. Beltre, Kershaw, Russell Martin, they look pretty good. Chad Billingsley, I mean, most of these guys are very young. Beltre's 30, but then all these guys are in their 20s. Zambrano, he hasn't been great in this game, but he's 27. He's still okay. So he's our first matchup. Let's sim these ones out. We're only 4-4. Let's see if we can win this series. Okay, so Bannister hurt, but just moderate. We got Casimir coming back in 1 day. What is he out for? 1 week, moderate. I might just to give us a little breathing room and be safe. Let's just put him on the 15-day, so he'll miss 2 starts instead of 1. I'm fine with that, so that we can. We'll bring Casimir after we finish today. Bring Casimir up. And 3-1 win, so that's a big win. I love when we pitch great. We were at LA. We got 14 hits. Santana, beast at the top of the order. Tulo held him with multi hits. Everett Miller maybe came in for defense. Still starting Fowler. James did not get a pinch hit. You know what? I might step in soon here and kind of force that. Oh, yeah. Bannister got hurt right away. So Jones came in, walked 3 guys, but didn't give up a run. So great job. And then no earned runs except for Marr, 1. None for the Pen. Doing great. All right. Let's go for game 2. I'm curious as well what we did with the rotation. Ooh, we win 2-1 in 11 innings. Let's see what my manager Phillips did. So Crockett in the 1, yeah, he's pitching great this year. Nye, Cook, Grube, and then Marr. Yeah, okay. Marr, I'd love to see him do well. He's 33. He's kind of just been a long relief guy for me because he hasn't been great. So we got 4 lefties though now in the pen, and I don't know. Casimir could be a guy I send down. I'd like to see him succeed. You know, he was a top prospect for us. He's on $1 million right now from arbitration. Last year he had a 10 ERA in 32 innings. Then he went down to AAA and he pitched really well in 53 innings. And in 2007 with us, he pitched fine. So he's got the potential. Let's check out this win. 2-1. Helton with 3 hits, hit 395 now with 3 jacks, 9 ribs, and Dexter Fowler with 3 hits. James did come in and get a pinch hit. Crockett, great game. 1 walk, 5 hits in 8 innings, 5 Ks. Nice. So we're going for the sweep now against LA. Can we move to 7-4? And we can, and we do. 5-2 win. A lot of guys just contributing. Stewart with 2 hits. He's got 4 jacks. He's having a sneaky good year. Only hitting 256, but leading the team in ribs and homers. And everyone else just contributing. 1 hit, 7 total team hits. And Cook, quality start. 1 earned run, 2 hits, 1 walk. 106 innings. Casimir pitched a third of an inning, came in, I guess, as a specialist. Walked a guy and then came out. And then we held. Hughes got the save. 10 pitch, 2K inning. So now we got the Diamondbacks. Here we got power rankings again. I think we maybe should have moved up. Well, we're 7th. I think, weren't we at 6 last time? So we're just about the same. Single season records. Nothing as of recent. This is on base percentage. Ted Williams, McGraw of the Yankees in 1899. Babe Ruth, Ted Williams. Pacific League. Oh, yeah, this is Carlos Sosa, Player of the Week for me in AAA. Lance Berkman, the NL Player of the Week award. Speaking of how dominant he is. AL, Evan Longoria of the Tampa Bay Rays. Wasn't it, I guess, were they the Rays now, not the Devil Rays anymore? I don't remember when they changed their name, but they were the Devil Rays for quite some time. I thought it was still the Devil Rays in like 2009. Maybe not. That might have been right around when they were changing that. Get that devil out of there. All right, now we got the Diamondbacks. Stephen Drew, good young. They have some good young players, outfielders and middle infielders, good athleticism. Drew, Hardy, Crawford, and Carter. Pitchers have been getting rocked. Not great pitching so far. Lance, Broxton, who's a starter, and Oka. Tomo Oka. Yeah, in real life, Boston for a while, Montreal. He was wrapping his big league career up at this time in real life with Cleveland. All right, so here we go. thought I had. Do we have like some DFA guys coming up, or no? Those guys, they all did they all pass, or do they? Oh, so it automatically kind of got them out of there since we were over. So my scout says Riordan down. I don't want to send him down. Um, yeah, we're full everywhere. So I don't know. I'm gonna hopefully it doesn't make me do anything with these guys. They can just hang out DFA'd. Um, Still, yeah, the Fowler James thing I don't quite like. James still good morale, so that's good. I mean, he's on 11 mil for a couple more years. Like he's a home run hitter. He's just been good. I'd like to see them giving him a chance over Fowler. Fowler's hitting seventh. I know he's good. He's been doing well. Maybe it's a thought. Maybe it's a thought to shop Fowler around. See, the thing is though, I don't think we're gonna ask Everett back, and Fowler can probably play a pretty good center, and then that would put James into the lineup. So it might just be, he's got to ride it out this year. Maybe Phillips, my manager, has talked with him. Maybe he's got a good relationship with him. Let's check. Um, Personnel, Brian Phillips, relationships. Excellent relationship, good, average with James and Fowler. And then, the pitchers, he's a hitting guy. And for some reason, Pujols doesn't really like him. So that's not good when you go to re-sign guys, but he's till 2014. So I got him for a while still. All right, here we go, starting the Arizona series. An 8-7 win, man. We're eking out these close games. We got 3 in the top of the 8th, and then we held them. Santana still multiple hits at the top of the order. Chulo, good game. Helton 1 for 6. Here we went James in, I guess defensively, because he is pretty good in left. So then he went to left into Everett's spot. Miller came in, who's good defensively, to center. Grube only gave up 1 run, but gave up 10 hits through 5 1/3. So he might have been a little off, but he made the pitches when he had to make them. Casimir coming in, giving up 2 runs, none of them earned at least. 1 hit and 1 walk. I like that they're working him in. Do it early here. Let's see what he's got. And then Gower getting the save. All right. Game 2 against Arizona. We're 8-4. Can we come out of this 10-4? Another extra inning win. Wow. So we get 1 in the 10th, and then we hold them. Pujols, 2 home runs, and a single. Casimir credited with the win in relief. So, yeah, a lot of, man, the top of my order really producing. Look at, they were 5, 8, 11 combined hits at the top of the order. James came in, got a pinch hit, 1 for 1. And Nye, did he get hurt? He came out after 2/3 of an inning. No, he just was getting crushed. Wow, 5 runs off 7 hits. And then we turned it over to our solid pen. Weaver did blow the save at one point. He's not looking great. He's playing for an extension year. He's had some years that are like really good. And then he's just had a couple, like right away, he was only 24 and 25. He wasn't good. Then he had 2 years in a row, very good. Then he was a little above average. He did lead the league in walks per 9. Then he was below average. Then he had a great year last year. So it's a real question mark this year on to whether we're going to ask him back or how much we're going to give him if we do. Gower getting another save. Nice job. So here we go, going for the sweep against Arizona. I think this will be the last game for now, and then we'll do another video later through the season, halfway point or something maybe. But here we go, going for the sweep, and we get it in big time fashion. An 8-0 win. Helton, 2 jacks. Jason Marr going 1-0, so they started him. Yeah, wow, he's got a .66 ERA. this thus far this season. Helton definitely a big contributor, hitting 411. He's playing for that contract. Maybe his personality will change. Maybe he'll start giving 100%. I wonder what he's asking for him now. Is it more? It's 18 mil. I think it's a little more now. But again, I'll pay him if he's putting up these kind of numbers. Last year was the first year that he did not hit 300. 299. Still had a 900 OPS. Look at him. You talk about Berkman. Helton has led the league in OPS more often than he hasn't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. And out of how many seasons? 96 to 2009, 13. He's been ridiculous. OPS 1.2 and 98 when he hit over 400. He was close again at 394 and 99, 384 and I mean it's a travesty that he's only won one MVP. He won it in 98 when he had an absolutely ridiculous year, but then all of these pretty high WAR years and leading the league in OPS, and he hasn't won another MVP. But multiple time All-Star, bunch of Silver Sluggers. He's a no doubt Hall of Famer in this game. So I think I'm gonna re-sign him if he just does what he does, even if it's not great, even if it's similar to last year. Gonna re-sign him, but I want to see, how he does before I start offering him, before I start negotiating the contract. So Marr with a great shutout. Well, not a complete game shutout, but didn't give up a run through 7 innings. No walks either. Man, good for him. It'd be great to see him come along. Like I said, he's kind of just been a long relief guy. We have him through 2011. He's not on big money, 3.6 mil, but we traded for him a couple years back. Seemed like a shot to take. Like he's had above average years every year except 2005. His ERA plus you can see here. I mean, except for when he was 24, his second full year. And then he was well above average several times. 2005, finally below average, then bounced back with an outstanding year. His career high in ERA plus with the Cardinals in 2006 at 30 years old. Got traded to Arizona halfway through, did well with them. I think then signed with the Mets in the offseason. And then I traded for him because I'm like, he's been doing well. He's like an under the radar guy. He hadn't been a starting pitcher most of his career, and then with Arizona when he that wasn't the great year that he had. He had 3 starts that year, but then the next year he still had a pretty good year, and he was a starter. 14 games started, and then stayed as a starter with the Mets. So then we got him, and that's a story of in real life what happens with the Rockies when they get these big name guys. Not that Marr is a big name. He hadn't made an All-Star game. He's not like a big time popular guy. Again, he was a reliever most of these years. But then we got him and he tanked and we were trying to start him. So then in 2008, I guess we did start him quite a bit, but then we relegated him to the pen like halfway through or so, I guess. Yeah, 14 games played, 20 of them games started. Or I'm sorry, 34 games played, 20 of them started. So he had 14 in relief. But yeah, now he's back in the starting rotation. And it'd be great to give him shots in the starting rotation. See how he does. We are going to have Bannister coming back soon. He's got to be getting close, doesn't he? Yeah, 10 days left, I guess, huh? Wasn't it the 15? That was only 5 days ago, huh? 15-day DL. Yeah, he's good to go now. I guess, yeah, he's got 10 games, so he'll miss a start or so. But it's worth it for me to see. I might send Groove down at this point. It's probably what I'd do. We'll stick with 4 lefties in the pen. Weaver not doing great, but based on what he's done in the past, I can't send him down. So, all right. We're 10-4. Good start. Next game's going to be against the Dodgers. That'll be it for simming games today. We got some waiver claims. I'm curious, San Diego making some more moves on waivers. I'm curious to see what they're doing with Matt Cain. I mean, he didn't have any option years left, so they had to put him in the rotation. Yeah, they got him as their number 2 starter. He's got a 4.86 ERA, 5.91 with the Padres. He's started a couple games, I guess. Is that 3 overall or 3 with the Padres? That's 3 overall. So 486 overall because he did fine on the Giants in his one start. So anyway, yeah, it's a good pickup for them, especially if you're a rebuilding team like they are. I wonder if they're admitting that. Neutral team focus, so they're not saying they're rebuilding, not yet at least. But looking at their record and where they're projected to be, I'd say they're a rebuilding team. Who do they have? They got Ryan Howard, solid at first. He's been with them for a while. Milton Bradley, good in center. He's been with them, I think, his whole career. Yep, been with them since 1999 as a 21-year-old. Now he's 31. So those are kind of their 2 top guys. Jason Bartlett's really good defensively. He's a solid shortstop. And pitching wise, yeah, good pickup for Kane because he's their best guy, considered the 28th ranked starter in the game. So maybe I was wrong for thinking that was a dumb move and saying the game does this sometimes. Maybe that could have happened in real life. It's just he's 24 and he was like a top 100 prospect. Yeah, he was like number 10 at one point back in 2002. I mean, it's just like why wouldn't you stick with this guy? He was like one of your best prospects. Really well in 2007. He was a relief pitcher. Then they put him in the starting rotation last year for 12 games out of the 44. So he wasn't a regular starter, but he did well there too. So I don't know. They're just ready to move on from him. Just give him up. Weird. All right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. We'll be further into the season. Right now we're 10-4.